From a Knicks perspective, I mean, they'll have the assets to offer, to make a competitive offer to Houston for a trade for Oladipo. And I know there are some people who see Oladipo as a strong addition to this roster, but I don't know how the top decision makers over there feel about it. I don't know if they feel as strong about it, but there is certainly, some internal optimism about the idea of acquiring Oladipo. The thing with that trade, anytime you're trading for a guy who's going into free agency, you need assurances that he's going to re-sign with you. I don't know if those assurances can be made, but you need some kind of assurance, and I don't know if the Knicks would get them. So that's one of the issues there.
And Oladipo will get paid this summer. I mean, you look at the way that free agent class has basically been picked thin with all, the Giannis's, the Goberts, some other guys committing to these long-term extensions. Victor Oladipo will get paid. If you think you're going to get some kind of bargain deal for him, that ain't happening. He wants to prove he's still, the guy he was at his peak with the Pacers. And so the Rockets front office is open-minded, whether they end up flipping him to add pieces for a rebuilding project, or whether they decide that he is a piece that they want to move forward with for the next 4 or 5 years.
Another name that I'm keeping an eye on, I don't know what Dallas is going to do, what they aren't going to do, but Jalen Brunson, I think from a Knicks perspective, I wouldn't be surprised at all if the Knicks showed some interest whenever there's the opportunity to show interest there. There's so many different ties between Jalen and the Knicks organization. Obviously, Rick Brunson, his father, close with Tom Thibodeau, Leon Rose. So I just wouldn't be surprised if they poked around on Jalen. What do you think the Mavericks think of Jalen and what the future is there?
They really like Jalen Brunson, but you are right on the money about the ties with the Knicks there. Leon Rose, my understanding is he really kind of considers Jalen to be one of his sons. I mean, he's known him since he was a baby. He did represent him before going to the Knicks. Having said all that, my understanding is that the Mavericks did float Brunson and the 18 pick, trying to move up to 8 in this draft. And, the Knicks obviously really liked Obi Toppin. They didn't want to trade down. The Mavericks were trying to move up and get Tyrese Halliburton, which, boy, that would have been a nice piece for them to have. So I would say Brunson certainly isn't untouchable with the Mavericks, but he is valued. And he is on a team that doesn't have a whole lot of three-point shooting. He's one of the very few guys on this roster that's really shot it well. And he's a great character guy, great culture guy. Of course, those are all part of the reasons that Leon Rose and Tibbs would want him in New York.